All right, so here we go. Here's the Axcel Landslyde. This one's the Carbon Pro, and it also has the AV40 scope. It has 0.10 fiber optic pin. All right, so on my initial opinion of the packaging, I feel like this is a very generic clamshell. I feel like this product's getting smashed right there, and then when it gets hit there, then you got the scope smashing the carbon bar, the dovetail bar. Like everything is just thrown in here randomly. There's the specifics on this. Hope that's clear. I don't like the packaging at all. Like, I'm gonna say that I think that it should be either in a box, more protected, or it should be like the AccuTouch that I bought in the past, the Carbon Pros. And I bought a Carbon Pro and I bought the aluminum mount, and both of them were in a clamshell that was, you know, shaped to fit the product. So initially, not real happy about the packaging. I'm sure other people won't either. I really don't like that it's not assembled, even though it takes seconds to assemble it, but I just don't like how it's smashing itself in there. All right, so I'm gonna open it up, assemble it, and we'll see what we got. All right, so taking it out of the box, we have the assembly right here. All right, we have the carbon arm, and you can see where it's just been smashing the carbon arm, where it's actually tearing the plastic, which over time I imagine could possibly cut through that and do damage to the carbon bar. We have everything just kind of thrown in this bag right here, the sight tapes and the screws and everything in this ring, Allen keys. So I don't know, I just kind of wish there was more, you know, thought and time put into how to package this up without anything getting scratched or damaged. I mean, last thing I'd want is my sight tapes getting scratched up by these screws or by the Allen key in there and stuff. I mean, possibly it won't happen, but I mean, I don't know, it just seems like a bad idea. And here's the carbon bar, and here's this. To see if there's any nicks on the inside of it where it's hitting the carbon bar. Yeah, so see, there's that scratching. Or is that just the packaging? Oh, it looks like there's a couple of little tiny microscopic nicks. Corner there, you probably can't even see it on the camera, but still definitely prone to damage. All right, I'm gonna assemble this and we'll see what we have. All right, so I assembled the sight and I got it set up, you know, crudely. Got it on my V327. You'll see that the bow's level on the bow vise. All right, I got the leveling tool clamp to the side of the elevation bar. There we go. Had to take a second there and pause just to get my tongue back. All right, and right here on my scope bubble, that's level 2. So everything's pretty much where I need it. Now what I don't know is these holes right here. I don't know if I'm in the correct position for my range. I'll see in a few minutes when I go sight in at 20 and 30, and we'll see. It is all leveled up though, it's all tightened down. So unless I need to just move this bar up a little bit, we're good. All right, so I'm gonna go shoot it and we'll see where the arrows fall. Okay, so after 3 arrows, the first one I tried to center punch it. It's a little low, so like they say with your sights, always chase your arrow. So I dialed a little low at 20. And then I got right there for a second arrow and that dot. Then I aimed up here on the Reinhardt and just was able to steady my shot a little bit more because of the green dot in the middle of that black. It's just, with the .10 pin, it's just super easy to just kind of put it right there and let it stay there. All right, now shooting the bow, you know, without any stabilization. So here's a look at the bow. That's pretty dang close considering I just went off the other sight. So here's the bow. We got the V327. So I got a little accessory I made there. 27. All right, and I got a set of Gas Ghost strings on here that are phenomenal. Kudos to Gas for making a sweet set of strings. I got a custom made wrist sling. And you know, I like the Axcel stuff. I got the Axcel quick release in the front and on the side, the tri-lock. I like them. A little red accessory there, and of course, the kickstand from Matthews. Absolutely love it. All right, so in a nutshell, that's what I'm shooting. All right, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna go out to 30 right now. I just set my bow on the road, which is about, I shoot from right there. Got a whole field. So all right, let's go ahead, shoot a couple more. And as for arrows, in case you're curious, shooting the Black Eagle Carnivores. These are see what it is, the 350s by 1. They're the good ones with brass up front. All right, let's shoot some more. Okay, so I did one more 20-yard 3-arrow group, and you can see all tucked in there nice and tight. This is just a little Reinhardt, they call it, Rhino block, which is a great target. I definitely recommend this to anybody who wants a great target. All right, so now bear in mind too, my shooting is horrible right now. I've had COVID-19. I was sick. I had super bad fatigue. Every muscle in my body hurt. I couldn't really lift anything. I was super sore. Bear in mind also that I had just broke 2 ribs in my back from falling flat on my back on a step. Thought I broke my back. Luckily, I just broke 2 ribs. So I don't know if I had a hard time breathing with COVID or not, because at the same time I had 2 broken ribs. I couldn't even sleep in my own bed for like a month. So my wife had it all to herself, and I was on the recliner sleeping, trying to just not stay miserable. So I mean, it's hard holding the pin on target and trying not to punch off, because I'm floating a little, but you know, it's not too bad. I mean, I'm not breaking arrows, so that's always a good thing. Okay, so before I start shooting 30, you see here that I put number 33 metal sight tape on there, and it's dialed in for 20 because that's what we just sighted it in for. So I'm going to go back to 30, see if this works. I was shooting a number 32 on my AccuTouch. However, this one comes with a 29-30, doesn't come with a 31-32, and it comes with a 33-34. So if I want my 32 again, I have to order it. So let's see how off or on this is. Yeah, backing up. Got my new sight today, gotta try out.
That sounded good.
I mean, it's in foam. I can't see it from back here. I'm about blind now. Trying to shoot over here.
I want to wake you up.
All right. So, don't expect anything super tight. So like I said, I haven't been shooting a lot. However, they all looked pretty good. They're all in there, I think, except for a couple I pulled. Right there. There we go. That's not too shabby at all. Okay, so with the 33 tape on there, dialed in to 30 yards. You see I got that group. Alrighty. That's not horrible. I pulled a couple of them, just a little bit. But that's probably just my shooting. Well, we won't say probably. That's definitely just my shooting. I mean, but there's 3 of them right there. So, I mean, maybe it's just, I need to adjust the windage a little bit. Maybe that one out there to the left, maybe that one I pulled. I don't know. I'll shoot a bunch more and see. I definitely need to get back to 60 yards. Once I crank that thing all the way down to 60 yards and see how it hits then, see if the point of impact's the same, or do I need to change that to a 32 or, you know, whatever to accommodate wherever it's hitting. All right, so I'm happy with it. I'm impressed. I'll give you a summary in just a second. I'm going to turn this off and go in and we'll compare it to my AccuTouch. All right, here's a side-by-side between the Landslyde Carbon Pro with the AV41 scope. It's got a 0.10 pin in it. And then here we got my old sight is the AccuTouch with the AccuStat 3-pin, and them are 0.19 pins. And so I have some experience with Axcel, and notice I didn't use the bow clamp that comes with this. I never used the bow clamp that comes with this because, quite honestly, it's okay and it does its job, but I prefer to have the clamp right here that comes with, I believe it's the Achieve. All right, so you see it's got a wedging system instead of, you know, that little pinpoint, that screw that comes down and presses it. I actually think it's a sweet upgrade, and I have that on both that bow and my spare bow. All right, so when it comes to these sights, I really like them. I really love the feature of the double pin, and I love the feature of the metal tapes. The metal tapes is pretty sweet. I love the fact that I can quick release and remove the scope. I'll definitely be buying an extra block, and once I get an extra block, I will be taking this 3-pin off, and I will be using it on there, and I'll definitely stick it on there, and it'll probably be my primary scope. But I do like shooting this pin, so I'll probably use this pin for 3D, and I'll go to the 19s for hunting, and I'll hunt the 3-pin. I'll have my 2 pins set as my 20 and my 40 pin. You know, the indicator pins, I'll have these set for, you know, 20 and 40 on the 3-pin scope, and did I say 20 and 40? Yeah, set it for 20 and 40, and you know, 30's in the middle somewhere, so you can figure that out by looking at it. The one thing that I don't like about the new scope is the packaging. I think that there's a possibility you might get something scratched, and some people don't care about that, but personally, for the price of the scope, it hurt my feelings. I wouldn't want my stuff scratched. Now, maybe that's silly, but it's the truth. Being that I shot this one on there before, and you see it's the 32, it's pretty easy to figure this out. I just found 20, and I dialed it in and stuck the 33 on there. Now, the 33 is close, but it's not exact, so we'll see if I have to buy, you know, another metal tape or not. They don't, I mean, there's so many variables in setups with arrow speeds and bow weights and stuff. I don't fault them at all for not being able to include every single metal tape. I realize that they're not cheap. They do, however, give you every single one of these sticker tapes. All right, so you see that's what they used to use on the AccuTouch, and it works fine if you don't get it wet and don't pick at it and stuff. So you can dial in what you need exactly. If you have one of them in between tapes, you can stick this on there. And once you have that, then you know exactly what metal tape you order. So it's not a big deal. I'm pretty sure they're both the exact same scales. It would only make sense that they would be. Extra hardware for like the quiver bracket. I don't use the quiver bracket. I use the stock Matthews quiver, which I like a lot. So yeah, that's my review in a nutshell. What do I think about it initially? I think it's great. I think I'm gonna like it. I think it has a good range. I feel like it's a lot less bulky than this one. I mean, I don't necessarily think it is. It is a lot less bulky. It's definitely different. It feels lighter. It's probably definitely lighter. You know what? I got a pool scale. I'll weigh it. I think it does ounces, so we'll weigh them and we'll see, you know, the difference. All right, so I got my pool scale. It's actually just a general scale I got somewhere, but let's stick it down there and see what it weighs. See if I can get it to where it stays. Right, there we go. All right, what's that say? 8.7 ounces. And we'll stick this one on there. 10.4 ounces. All right, so, I mean, it's only a few ounces lighter, but it feels like there's a lot of weight out front. It's amplified by the carbon bar than this one. When you shake it, I mean, it doesn't feel as heavy. And I'm not trying to be biased or anything because it's my new site. Honestly, I don't really give a shit, but it's definitely different. You know what? Now that I think about it, it's probably the scope because it's got all that extra stuff in it right there. So once I switch that scope and put it on there, it might not be any different, but it feels good like this. I actually really like that one. So there it is. I mean, my opinion is I love it. I think it shoots great. I think my 30-yard groups were great. I think that for target shooting, 3D shooting, I'm definitely going to use that .10 pin a lot more than, you know, the bigger .19s. I really like how I can put that on a target, and it settles in a little bit better for me. It's not so big, and it's not starbursting so much in, you know, on a cloudy days or something or whatever. I can always put a light on there if I want it brighter. If I do indoors, I can put a light on it and brighten it up a little bit. We'll see. I haven't never shot that small of a pin before. I've always shot the .19s, but I wanted to try one out, so we'll see. All right, so not to be long-winded, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. This YouTube channel is new for me. I named it Whitetail Impaler, so check out my other videos. I got some videos of some really nice bucks that I harvested last year. I'm going to be going to Kentucky again this year, hopefully Ohio, but that's kind of pending. Definitely Connecticut, definitely New York. Put some more deer on there this year, and hopefully score a really big one at Kentucky again this year. I missed a 10-point. That's a video on there right now that I hit, but it ricocheted off his leg, which was a heartbreak for me. It's a nice 10-point. You know, he wasn't huge, but I definitely would have loved to harvest them. But I did get a mainframe 8 that had 10 points and a drop tine and full velvet in Connecticut right after that. So check them videos out. They're pretty cool. Subscribe and like if you like this video, and good luck hunting and good luck with this site if you plan to purchase one and that's why you're watching it. All right, peace out.